Hey, Dodger game fans. I don't think I've quite done this before. So it's nighttime. I'm sitting in the car. It's been a really rough day. Very difficult emotionally for me. I've been like on sensory overload from the pain of today. But, I've gotten some good comments lately, and there's been some interesting things going on. And I just thought I'd do a video. And I went to the gas station and got some 8% beer in the 25 ounce and drank it very quickly. So that's like 4 beers in like 10 minutes. So I'm kind of hammered already. And I'm going to talk about one of the some of the comments. I'm going to talk about one of the comments they had. Maybe I'll talk about what a horrible day it was for me on my son's birthday. Doesn't talk to me in 5 years. Um, I kind of got traumatized today. It was very difficult. And so one of the comments I got on one of the videos recently quoted Isaiah chapter 2, where it says something like, it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and all nations shall flow unto it, etc., etc. And of course, that has been interpreted by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter day Saints for the gullible parishioners to mean that building the Salt Lake Temple was a prophecy of Isaiah being fulfilled. And I'd like to point out that verse 1 says that it's about Jerusalem and Judah. Judah and Jerusalem, not Ephraim and Salt Lake City, Utah. So, twisted scriptures is what this is really about. The Latter day Saints have been, conditioned to believe that their prophets speak the truth and all that sort of a thing. And we're told that Zion, later on it mentions, the law shall go forth from Zion and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So we're told, oh, well, Zion just means from the United States, and eventually that's, of course, going to mean Jackson County, Missouri, right? Where the headquarters of Zion it will be. But right now it's in Salt Lake City, Utah. And the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Well, the word of the Lord from Mormon prophets is not coming from Jerusalem. It's coming from Salt Lake City. And Salt Lake City is not Zion, even though even though it is the center of Ziontology, so to speak. So you look at the first verse, and it says it's about Judah and Jerusalem. And you look at the type of language. I don't know if this is a chiasmus, but it's similar. They always repeat the same exact meaning as they said in the first part of that verse. In other words, the law shall come forth out of Zion, which, by the way, means Jerusalem to everybody else but Mormons, if you look in any kind of, Bible dictionary thing. And the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So it's repeating itself. Just like when you say something like, oh, it's better to obey than to sacrifice, or to hearken than the fat of rams. You find that like in like Samuel or something, when King Agag was told by Samuel the prophet, supposedly, to go out and just like waste all these people, the Ammonites or something, okay? But he doesn't waste all of them. He saves, well, at least he saves their animals, right? And he brings back their animals for a sacrifice after he murders all these people, according to the prophet who told him that's what dear Heavenly Father wanted him to do, just go waste all these people. So he brings back these lambs and stuff and cows and whatever, and Samuel the prophet says something like, What's all this bleating of sheep and mooing of cows and all this stuff I'm hearing, And he goes, oh, he brought back all these sacrifices. And he says, sorry, sucker, that's not what Yahweh told you to do. So anyway, he murders the king. It says, and Samuel hew Agag in pieces before the Lord in Gilgal, if I recall correctly. So God's loving prophet just chopped up the king for not killing enough animals as well as killing the people. And so he said, it's better to obey than to sacrifice the animals, obviously, or hearken, which means to obey and to listen and obey, than the fat of rams. The fat of rams is what they sacrifice. So there's verse after verse in the Bible where they do these little turnarounds. I don't know if these are the chiasmus or not. I'm not an expert in that. But basically, they're talking about the same thing. So when you say the word, the law shall go forth out of Zion, and the word of the Lord of Jerusalem, they're talking about Zion is Jerusalem. Hello. That's what, that's, excuse me. I had that 25 ouncer and now I've exhibited a burp. Okay. 25 ounces of 8% stuff. So it's like 4 beers in 2 minutes. Something like that. And no, it's more like 10 minutes. Come on. So twisting that to mean it means Salt Lake City, Utah, in the tops of the mountains. The mountain of the Lord's house shall be, mountain of the Lord's house, they say that means the temple, shall be established on the tops of the mountains. The tops of the mountains. Well, no, it's in the valley, people. It's in the Salt Lake Valley. It's not it's not at the tops of the mountains. It's not. And it's not in Jerusalem. And so I'm trying to establish the fact that when they do these things in these verses, in this repetitive stuff, it means the same thing, not some other place across the other side of the world. You know, in Mormonism, we're taught that the Garden of Eden was in Jackson County, Missouri, meaning that's the cradle of civilization, and that all races came, initially from Jackson County, Missouri, 6,000 years ago. Try to reconcile that to your anthropological information, and you'll find out it doesn't. How's that working for you? It's not. Okay? It's not. Sorry, there weren't like a bunch of Caucasians as the first people in the whole world in Missouri. That's just not the way it happened. No, sorry. We have people of the Siberian ancestry coming to the Americas long before Adam was supposed to have become immortal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. And that's the people that we have as our American Indians, not Caucasians, not Israelites. Well, I don't want to vary too far. I don't want to vary too far from what I started on. I started on the fact that this person started with the Zion business versus Jerusalem, and they are one in the same in the understanding of everybody in the world, pretty much except for Mormons. So that verse that was quoted by a commenter in my comments, which Latter-day Saints are told means that the Salt Lake City Temple is a fulfillment of prophecy from Isaiah the prophet. And by the way, the book of Isaiah appears to have been written by more than one person. And some of the portions that we find in the Book of Mormon appear to have been written in Babylon after Lehi and his family are alleged to have left Jerusalem. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into that. Enough of that for now. I'm obviously a little bit intoxicated. I had a very emotionally painful day today. It was the birthday of my son who hasn't spoken to me in 5 years since his mom and his little sister disappeared. When I had a nervous breakdown. When he came to the United States to save my son from heroin, and we lost our business in Latin America, we lost everything, and I just collapsed, unfortunately. And somehow that makes me a bad guy, I guess. I don't know what they've been told, but today was really hard for me. It was super painful for me. I lost two of my children. I'm trying to get them to, talk to them at least, and I'm told they don't want to even talk to me, so I send little videos, and I'm told they don't want to watch the videos. And it's so painful I can't even describe the pain, because my family was everything to me. And I try to be the best dad and the best husband that I could be. And I found out that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was based on lies, and that the whole families can be together forever thing was just a sham to get us to give our time and our labor and whatever money we earned, 10% of that to the church or whatever they asked. Building fund, welfare fund, missionary fund. Give your time, give everything to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the kingdom of God on the earth, and the establishment of Zion, which is what you covenant to in the temple. And then you give the Freemasonic signs, tokens, and penalties, and think that they're holy. Okay. Um. Wow, people. This is this is this is my. I'm hammered on the equinox on my boy's birthday, who I did everything with. I took him to the beach. I taught him how to surf. I taught him how to ride a bicycle. I tried so hard, teach him to read. Like I taught my kid to become an LDS lawyer. And other ones, my genius son, who's now murdered. And this boy of mine who is really compassionate and kind and good and so brilliant in many things and won't even talk to me, and it breaks my heart. And I couldn't handle anymore today. It was more than I could handle. So I started like convulsing and stuff after he wouldn't talk to me when I called just to say happy birthday. And some of you Christians say that God is good. Well, I don't agree with you. I don't agree at all. I fasted for 14 days without any food, trying to save my family, cast away any evil influences. I fasted for close to 10 days, and another time I fasted for 3, 4, or 5 days. Because the New Testament said that that would get rid of evil influences or bad spirits, but it didn't work. The priesthood blessings didn't work, nothing worked. I lost my family just like the angel of light said would happen. It spoke to a family member, not to me. And everything happened as we were told would occur. I tried super hard to be the best dad and husband I could be. I hate the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints with all my heart. I hate the prophet. He's a liar. He's a pedophile. And I'm sure they sacrifice children just like all those Luciferian bastards do. But there are a lot of good people in the church that are just duped like I was. I hope they can wake up and see the contradictions in the scriptures and in the cover-ups of their history. I'm going through all this stuff. I'm trying to help my mom move. Came to visit her. I found the age of reason. Maybe I'll use that. I found prophets and principles and whatever it is. and I found Bruce McConaughey's Mormon Doctrine. Found some of the books I used to have, but not the ones that I gave to my oldest son, who's an LDS lawyer, and just he won't even talk to me anymore. Yeah, it's great. Well, people, I'm trying to do the best I can. I did a lot of study of the scriptures and of LDS doctrines from the older brethren, and the more things change, the more we see that the unchanging God of Mormonism, described in the Book of Mormon, is not compatible with the changing doctrines that we find now, because these people are just a bunch of occultists, mostly Freemasons, obeying their masters, whose shares in the company, the privately held corporation of the President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is governed through corporate governance like every city, county, and state in the United States, the same way, just not reported on their CAFRs because they don't report privately owned investment. Well, anyway, congratulations if you've listened this far when I'm this hammered trying to just deal with the pain of knowing this stuff. I hope I've been able to communicate effectively some truth, and I thank all the viewers and people that comment sincerely, whether they agree with me or don't. Please like and subscribe and share, and go to the Mormon Truth Videos Gospel Topics Hub.weebly.com to find videos and written material that deals with all of this in a subject by subject manner. Yeah, okay, great. I'll probably hate myself for this tomorrow, but I'm doing the best I can. It's been a really painful day. I'm out. Have a great day, people. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yep.